Let's go. Don't waste your life, man. I know a lot of people that are scared they gon' die. Couple of them thinking they'll be living in the sky. While I'm here living, man, I gotta ask why. What am I here for? I gotta figure out. Waste my life, no, I gotta make it count. If Christ is real, then what am I gonna do about everything in Luke 12:15? Now to 21, you really gotta go and check it out. Paul said, if Christ ain't resurrected, we wasted our lives. But that implies that our life's built around Jesus being alive. They gonna live and trying to show the world why Christ is more than everything you'll ever try. Better than pretty women sitting and living to get a minute of any women, a minute you admire. It ain't no lie, we created for him. Out of the dust, he made us for him. Alexa said he saves us for him. Jesus comes and he breaks us for him. Magnify the Father, our Father was something lesser. He made us so we could bless him. To the world we confess him, resurrects him. So I know I got life. Matter of fact, better man, I know I got Christ. You don't see his ways in my days and my nights. You can hit my brakes, you can stop my life. Man, I lost my rights, lost my life. Forget the money, cause the toss that ice. The cost is Christ. They can never offer me anything on the planet that will cost that price. Yeah. Yeah, do it for Christ. You trying to figure out what to do with your life. You make a lot of money, hope you're doing it right. Because the money is God, you better steward it right and stay focused. You ain't got no ride, your life ain't wrapped up in what you drive. The clothes you wear, the job you work, the color of your skin, now you're Christian first. People get to living for a job, make a little money, start living for a car. Get them a wife, a house, kids, and a dog. When they retire, they're living high on the hog. But guess what, they didn't ever really live it all. To live is Christ, and that's Paul, I recall. To die is gain, so for Christ we give it all. He's the treasure you never find in them all. See your money, your singleness, marriage, talent, your time. They belong to you to show the world that Christ is divine. That's why it's Christ in my rhyme. That's why it's Christ all the time. See, my whole world is built around him. He's the life in my life. I refuse to waste my life. He's too true to chase that ice. Here's my gift of time, cause I'm constantly trying to be used to praise the Christ. If he's truly raised to life, then this news should change your life. If by his grace you can put your faith in a place that rules your days and nights. Yes.
Allons-y alors. Mon temps est précieux.
Let's go. Don't waste your life, man. I know a lot of people that are scared they gon' die. Couple of them thinking they'll be living in the sky. While I'm here living, man, I gotta ask why. What am I here for? I gotta figure out. Waste my life, no, I gotta make it count. If Christ is real, then what am I gonna do about everything in Luke 12:15? Now to 21, you really gotta go and check it out. Paul said, if Christ ain't resurrected, we wasted our lives. But that implies that our life's built around Jesus being alive. They gonna live and trying to show the world why Christ is more than everything you'll ever try. Better than pretty women sitting and living to get a minute of any women, a minute you admire. It ain't no lie, we created for him. Out of the dust, he made us for him. Alexa said he saves us for him. Jesus comes and he breaks us for him. Magnify the Father, our Father was something lesser. He made us so we could bless him. To the world we confess him, resurrects him. So I know I got life. Matter of fact, better man, I know I got Christ. You don't see his ways in my days and my nights. You can hit my brakes, you can stop my life. Man, I lost my rights, lost my life. Forget the money, cause the toss that ice. The cost is Christ. They can never offer me anything on the planet that will cost that price. Yeah. Christ. You trying to figure out what to do with your life. You make a lot of money, hope you're doing it right. Because the money is God, you better steward it right and stay focused. You ain't got no ride, your life ain't wrapped up in what you drive. The clothes you wear, the job you work, the color of your skin, now you're Christian first. People get to living for a job, make a little money, start living for a car. Get my wife, a house, kids, and a dog. When they retire, they're living high on the hog. But guess what? They didn't never really live it all. To live is Christ, and that's Paul. I recall. To die is gain, so for Christ we give it all. He's the treasure you can never find in them all. See your money, your singleness, marriage, talent, your time. Labor only you to show the world that Christ is divine. That's why it's Christ in my rhyme. That's why it's Christ all the time. See, my whole world is built around him. He's the life in my life. I refuse to waste my life. He's too true to chase that ice. Here's my gift of time, cause I'm constantly trying to be used to praise the Christ. If he's truly raised to life, then this news should change your life. If by his grace you can put your faith in a place that rules your days and nights. Yes.
Thank you, God. Very good rolls. Perfect rolls. That's the perfect roll.
Let's go. Don't waste your life, man. I know a lot of people that are scared they gon' die. Couple of them thinking they'll be living in the sky. While I'm here living, man, I gotta ask why. What am I here for? I gotta figure out. Waste my life, no, I gotta make it count. If Christ is real, then what am I gonna do about everything in Luke 12:15? Now to 21, you really gotta go and check it out. Paul said, if Christ ain't resurrected, we wasted our lives. But that implies that our lives built around Jesus being alive. Every day I live, trying to show the world why. Christ is more than everything you'll ever try. Better than pretty women sitting and living to get a minute of any women, a minute you admire. It ain't no lie, we created for him. Out of the dust, he made us for him. Alexa said he saved us for him. Jesus comes and he breaks us for him. Magnify the Father, our Father was something lesser. He made us so we could bless him. To the world we confess him, resurrect him. So I know I got life. Matter of fact, better man, I know I got Christ. You don't see his ways in my days and my nights. You can hit my brakes, you will stop my life. Then I lost my rights, lost my life. Forget the money, cause it's cost that ice. The cost is Christ. They can never offer me anything on the planet that will cost that price. Yeah.
Hi, welcome stream.
I'ma tell it everywhere I go. Tell the world, tell them. Yeah, I'm a billboard. Tell the world, and I'm broadcasting like a radio. Tell the world you ought to know. I'm brand new. I know one thing's true. I don't even really deserve to know you, but I'm a witness that you did this, and I'm brand new. So I'm ready to go, and I'ma tell the world what they need to know. A slave to myself, but you let me go. I tried getting high, but it left me low. You did what they could never do. You cleaned up my soul and gave me life. I'm so brand new, and that's all that matters. I ain't love you first, but you first loved me. In my heart, I cursed you, but you set me free. I gave you no reason to give me new seasons, to give me new life, new breathing. But you hung there bleeding, you died for my lies and my cheating, my lust and my greed. What is a man that you mindful of him? And what do I have to deserve this love? Trying to make the moments last, holding on to the
Joel. I'm brand new.
Can't offer you nothing, but your carrot counters keep coming. And your love is so unconditional, like it butterflies in my stomach. I got the old me in the rear view, got a new me, got a clear view. I was so dead I couldn't hear you. Too deep in sin to come near you, but you drew me in, you clean me up, to take me home, beam me up. Before you do, just let me tell the truth and let these folks know that I done seen your love and it's everlasting, infinite. It goes on and on, you can't measure it, can't quench your love, that can't separate us from the love of God. There's no estimate. My face look the same, my frame and rearranged, but I'm changed. I promise I ain't the same. Your love so deep, you suffered and took pain. You died on the cross to give me a new name. Ain't nothing like I seen before. I got a beam and glow. I was low down and dirty, but you clean me, Lord. You adopted me, you keep rocking me. I'ma tell the world and ain't nobody stopping me. Trying to make the moments last, holding on to the past, but like a hero in a dream, Christ came and he rescued me. Now I'ma tell the world, I'ma tell it everywhere I go. Yeah, I'ma build walls, tell the world, broadcasting like a radio. Tell the world you want it more. I'm brand new. So therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he's a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come.
Perfect game for against Monk aggro. Maybe he's Monk control. If he's Monk control, it's gonna be good. We're a really strong guy. I'm brand new.
Par les corps, c'est l'éclosion. Misérable sans écaille, pauvre lâche. Par les corps, c'est l'éclosion.
Now I'ma tell the world, tell them, I'ma tell it everywhere I go. Tell the world, tell them, yeah, I'm a billboard. Tell the world, tell them, broadcasting like a radio. Tell the world you ought to know, I'm brand new. I know one thing's true, I don't even really deserve to know you, but I'm a witness that you did this and I'm brand new, so I'm ready to go, and I'ma tell the world what they need to know. A slave to myself, but you let me go. I tried getting high, but it left me low. You did what they could never do. You cleaned up my soul and gave me life. I'm so brand new, and that's all that matters. I ain't love you first, but you first loved me. In my heart I cursed you, but you set me free. I gave you no reason to give me new seasons, to give me new life, new breathing. But you hung there bleeding, you died for my lies and my cheating, my lust and my greed. What is a man that you mindful of him? And what do I have to deserve this loving? Trying to make the moments last, holding on to the past, but like a hero in a dream, Christ came and he rescued me. Now I'ma tell the world, tell them, I'ma tell it everywhere I go. Tell the world, tell them, yeah, I'm a billboard. Tell the world, tell them, broadcasting like a radio. Tell the world you ought to know,
I'm brand new.
can't offer you nothing, but your carrot counters keep coming. And your love is so unconditional, like it butterflies in my stomach. I got the old me in the rear view, got a new me, got a clear view. I was so dead I couldn't hear you. Too deep in sin to come near you, but you drew me in, you clean me up, to take me home, beam me up. Before you do, just let me tell the truth and let these folks know that I done seen your love and it's everlasting, infinite. It goes on and on, you can't measure it, can't quench your love, that can't separate us from the love of God. There's no estimate. My face look the same, my frame and rearranged, but I'm changed. I promise I ain't the same. Your love so deep, you suffered and took pain. You died on the cross to give me a new name. Ain't nothing like I seen before. I I got a beam and glow. I was low down and dirty, but you clean me, Lord. You adopted me, you keep rocking me. I'ma tell the world and ain't nobody stopping me. Trying to make the moments last, holding on to the past. But like a hero in a dream, Christ came and he rescued me. Now I'ma tell the world, tell the world, I'ma tell it everywhere I go. Tell the world, tell it. Yeah, I'm a billboard. Tell the world, tell the world, broadcasting like a radio. Tell the world you want it more. I'm brand new.
So therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he's a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come. Yeah, I'm brand new.
I'ma tell the world, tell them. I'ma tell it everywhere I go. Tell the world, tell them. Yeah, I'm a billboard. Tell the world, and I'm broadcasting like a radio. Tell the world you ought to know. I'm brand new. Now I'ma tell the world, tell them. I'ma tell it everywhere I go. Tell the world, tell them. Yeah, I'm a billboard. Tell the world, and I'm broadcasting like a radio. Tell the world you ought to know. I'm brand new. I know one thing's true. I don't even really deserve to know you, but I'm a witness that you did this, and I'm brand new. So I'm ready to go, and I'ma tell the world what they need to know. A slave to myself, but you let me go. I tried getting high, but it left me low. You did what they could never do. You cleaned up my soul and gave me life. I'm so brand new, and that's all that matters. I ain't love you first, but you first loved me. In my heart, I cursed you, but you set me free. I gave you no reason to give me new seasons, to give me new life, new breathing. But you hung there bleeding, you died for my lies and my cheating, my lust and my greed. What is a man that you mindful of him? And what do I have to deserve his loving? Trying to make the moments last, holding on to the past. But like a hero in a dream, Christ came and he rescued me. Now I'ma tell the world, tell them. I'ma tell it everywhere I go. Tell the world, tell them. Yeah, I'm a billboard. Tell the world, and I'm broadcasting like a radio. Tell the world you ought to know. I'm brand new. I can't offer you nothing, but your carrot kindness keep coming. And your love is so unconditional, like it butterflies in my stomach. I got the old me in the rear view, got a new me, got a clear view. I was so dead I couldn't hear you, too deep to sin to come near you. But you drew me in, you clean me up, to take me home, beam me up. Before you do, just let me tell the truth and let these folks know that I done seen your love. And it's everlasting, infinite, it goes on and on. You can't measure it, can't quench your love, that can't separate us from the love of God. There's no estimate. My face look the same, a frame and rearranged, but I'm changed. I promise ain't the same. Your love so deep, you suffered and took pain. You died on the cross to give me a new name. Ain't nothing like I seen before. I got a beam and glow. I was low down and dirty, but you clean me, Lord. You adopted me, you keep rocking me. I'ma tell the world and ain't nobody stopping me. Trying to make the moments last, holding on to the past. But like a hero in a dream, Christ came and he rescued me. Now I'ma tell the world, tell them. I'ma tell it everywhere I go. Tell the world, tell them. Yeah, I'm a billboard. Tell the world, tell them. Broadcasting like a radio. Tell the world you want it more. I'm brand new.
So therefore,
I messed up.
in Christ,
I'm looking at my hand. I'm like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh,
the new has come. Yeah,
oh.
brand new.
Tell it everywhere I go.
Yeah, I'm
A billboard,
broadcasting like a
radio.
I'm brand new.
Am I dead? 11.
I'm brand new. I know one thing's true. I don't even really deserve to know you, but I'm a witness that you did this, and I'm brand new. So I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. What they need to know. I slave to myself, but you let me go. I tried getting high, but it left me low. You did what they could never do. You cleaned up my soul, yeah. Gave me life, I'm so brand new, and that's all that matters. I ain't love you first, but you first loved me. Come on, in my heart I cursed you, but you set me free. I gave you no reason to give me new seasons, to give me new life, new breathing.
Okay, pass on me. Greedy. What is a man? My lover.
And what do I
Have
to deserve his love? Is trying to make the
his
moments
last.
holding on to the past.
Like a hero in a dream.
Christ came and he rescued me. I'ma tell the world, I'ma
Tell it everywhere I go.
yeah, I'm a billboard, in the broadcasting like a radio. You already know I'm brand new. Can't offer you nothing, but your carry counters keep coming. And your love is so unconditional, like get butterflies in my stomach. I got the old me in a rear view, got a new me, got a clear view. I was so dead I couldn't hear you. Too deep to sin to come near you. But you drew me in, you clean me up, to take me home, beat me up. Before you do, just let me tell the truth and let these folks know that I done seen your love and it's everlasting, infinite. It goes on and on, you can't measure it, can't quench your love, they can't separate us from the love of God. There's no estimate. My face look the same, my frame and rearranged, but I'm changed. I promise I ain't the same. Your love so deep, you suffered and took pain. You died on the cross to give me a new name. Ain't nothing like I seen before. I got a beam and glow. I was low down and dirty, but you claim me, Lord. You adopted me, you keep rocking me. I'ma tell the world and ain't nobody stopping me. Trying to make the moments last, holding on to the past.
We're like a hero
In a dream, Christ came and he rescued me. I'ma tell the world,
everywhere I go. Radio. We have one more chance, okay? We have one more chance to get reaction.
If anyone is in Christ,
Right.
he's a new creation.
Woo! Should we find it? Whoa. Ah!
The new has come. Yeah.
Ah!
Brown.
I'm in talent everywhere I go. Woo! Thank you. The creator of the universe has decided to give me a reanimation on the third reanimation. I am speechless. Oh, God, that is amazing. I'ma tell it everywhere I go. Billboard.
I'm brand new. I know one thing's true. I don't even really deserve to know you, but I'm a witness that you did this, and I'm brand new. So I'm ready to go, and I'ma tell the world what they need to know. I slave to myself, but you let me go. I tried getting high, but it left me low. You did what they could never do. You cleaned up my soul, yeah. Gave me life, I'm so brand new, and that's all that matters. I ain't love you first, but you first loved me. Come on, in my heart I cursed you, but you set me free. I gave you no reason to give me new seasons, to give me new life, new breathing. But you hung there bleeding, you died for my lies and my cheating, my lust and my greed. What is
a man,
that you
my lover,
and what do I
have.
to deserve his love? Is
What is that?
holding on to the past, but like a
Hero in a dream.
Christ came and he
Rescued me.
I'ma
tell it everywhere I go.
I'm brand new. Can't offer you nothing, but your carrot counters keep coming. And your love is so unconditional. I get butterflies in my stomach. I got the old me, get a real view, got a new me, got a clear view. I'm so dead, I couldn't hear you. Too deep to sin to come near you. But you drew me in, you clean me up, you take me home, beat me up. Before you do,
Sometimes we want reanimation, to draw reanimation, like using spells, and God just gives you reanimation. I'm gonna go take a break, man. Woo! Maybe we can rap some.
Like a hero in a dream, Christ came and he rescued me. Now I'm a tell the world, tell it everywhere I go. Billboard, radio, you wanna know?
So therefore, if anyone is in Christ,
If anyone's in
he's a new
Christ.
creation.
I can't believe that.
All is passed away.
That's awesome.
Behold,
That was awesome.
the new has come. Yeah.
Where I go, Billboard, radio, I'm brand new. Oh man, that was amazing. Okay, we can go in for another one. Go in for them. Thank you, God. Billboard.
I'm brand new. I know one thing's true. I don't even really deserve to know you, but I'm a witness that you did this, and I'm brand new. So I'm ready to go, and I'ma tell the world what they need to know. A slave to myself, but you let me go. I tried getting high, but it left me low. You did what they could never do. You cleaned up my soul and gave me life. I'm so brand new, and that's all that matters. I ain't love you first, but you first loved me. Come on, in my heart I cursed you, but you set me free. I gave you no reason to give me new seasons, to give me new life, new breathing. But you hung there bleeding, you died for my lies and my cheating, my lust and my greed. What is a man that you mindful of him? And what do I have to deserve this loving? Trying to make the moments last, holding on to the past. But like a hero in a dream, Christ came and he rescued me. Now I'ma tell the world, tell them, I'ma tell it everywhere
I go. My Billboard. Radio, you wanna know? I'm brand new.
Can't offer you nothing, but your carrot counters keep coming. And your love is so unconditional. I get butterflies in my stomach. I got the old me, get a real view, got a new me, got a clear view. I'm so dead, I couldn't hear you. Too deep to sin to come near you. But you drew me in, you clean me up, you take me home, beat me up. Before you do,
Rematch.
just let me tell the truth and let these folks know that I'm
Refill.
not saying your love and it's everlasting.
Infinite.
It goes on and on, you can't measure it. Can't quench your love, they can't separate us from the love of God. There's no estimate. My face look the same, my frame and rearranged, but I'm changed. I promise I ain't the same. Your love so deep, you suffered and took pain. You died on the cross to give me a new
Thank you for the ring.
change. Ain't nothing like I seen before. I got a beam and glow. I was low down and dirty, but you clean me, Lord. You adopted me, you keep rocking me. I'ma tell the world and ain't nobody stopping me. Trying to make the moments last, holding on to the past. And like a hero in a dream, Christ came and he rescued me. Now I'ma tell the world, tell it everywhere I go. Billboard, radio,
Billboard, Telerock, radio. Wanna know? I'm brand new. Maj, die hieß. I'm a damn bro. I'ma tell it everywhere I go. Yeah, I'm a billboard. Tell them broadcasting like the radio. You wanna know? I'm brand new.
I know one thing's true. I don't even really deserve to know you, but I'm a witness that you did this, and I'm brand new. So I'm ready to go, and I'ma tell the world what they need to know. I slave to myself, but you let me go. I tried getting high, but it left me low. You did what they could never do. You cleaned up my soul and gave me life. I'm so brand new, and that's all that matters. I ain't love you first, but you first loved me. Come on, in my heart I cursed you, but you set me free. I gave you no reason to give me new seasons, to give me new life, new breathing. But you hung there bleeding, you died for my lies and my cheating, my lust and my greed. What is a man that you mind for loving? And what do I have to deserve this love? Is trying to make the moments last, holding on to the past, and like a hero in a dream, Christ came and he rescued me. I'ma tell it everywhere I go. Yeah, I'm a billboard, radio. You wanna know? I'm brand new. Can't offer you nothing, but your carry counters keep coming. And your love is so unconditional, I get butterflies in my stomach. I got the old me in a real view, got a new me, got a clear view. I was so dead I couldn't hear you, too deep to sin to come near you. But you drew me in, you clean me up, you take me home, beat me up. Before you do, just let me tell the truth and let these folks know that I done seen your love and it's everlasting, infinite. It goes on and on, you can't measure it, can't quench your love, they can't separate us from the love of God. There's no estimate. My face look the same, my frame and rearranged, but I'm changed. I promise ain't the same. Your love so deep, you suffered and took pain. You died on the cross to give me a new change. Ain't nothing like I seen before. I got a beam and glow. I was low down and dirty, but you clean me, Lord. You adopted me, you keep rocking me. I'ma tell the world ain't nobody stopping me. Trying to make the moments last, holding on to the past, like a hero in a dream. Christ came and he rescued me. Everywhere I go, radio. Wanna know? I'm brand new.
So therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he's a new creation. The old has passed away. The new has come.
Tell it everywhere I go. Yeah, I'm a billboard. I'm brand new. Go. Yeah, I'm a billboard, radio. You wanna know? I'm brand new. I know one thing's true. I don't even really deserve to know you, but I'm a witness that you did this, and I'm brand new. So I'm ready to go, and I'ma tell the world what they need to know. I was slave to myself, but you let me go. I tried getting high, but it left me low. You did what they could never do. You cleaned up my soul and gave me life. I'm so brand new, and that's all that matters. I ain't love you first, but you first loved me. Come on, in my heart I cursed you, but you set me free. I gave you no reason to give me new seasons, to give me new life, new breathing. But you hung there bleeding, you died for my life. What is a man? Mindful of him. Have
To deserve this love and trying to make the
moments last. Holding on to the past. And like an hero in a dream, Christ came and he rescued me. I'ma tell it everywhere I go. Yeah, I'm a billboard. Radio. Ought to know I'm brand new.
Can't offer you nothing, but your carry kindness keep coming. And your love is so unconditional, I get butterflies in my stomach. I got the old me in a rear view, got a new me, got a clear view. I'm so dead I couldn't hear you, too deep to sin to come near you. But you drew me in, you clean me up, and take me home, beam me up. Before you do, just let me tell the truth and let these folks know that I done seen your love and it's everlasting, infinite. It goes on and on, you can't measure it, can't quench your love, they can't separate us from the love of God. There's no estimate. My face look the same, but frame and rearrange, but I'm changed. The promise ain't the same. Your love so deep, you suffered and took pain. You died on the cross to give me a new name. Ain't nothing like I seen before. I got a beam and glow. I was low down and dirty, but you clean me, Lord. You adopted me, you keep rocking me. I'ma tell the world and ain't nobody stopping me. Trying to make the
Moments last. Holding on to the past. Like a hero in a dream, Christ came and he rescued me. Everywhere I go, billboard, radio, I'm brand new.
So therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he's a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come. Yeah. Brand new.
Tell it everywhere I go. Yeah, I'm a billboard. Radio. You ought to know I'm brand new. Galen also events. If you lock yourself out with too many Hi NRO Entertainment. I have another account. That might be why. I stopped using my other account because it has too many videos on it. So every time I try to save a video, it gets so laggy. So it's probably not you. I mean, I have two accounts.
I know one thing's true. I don't even really deserve to know you,
But
I'm a witness that you did this, and I'm
brand new.
So I'm ready to
Go.
And I'ma tell the world what they need to
No.
know. I'm a slave to myself, but you let me go. I tried getting high, but it left me low. You did what they could never do. You cleaned up my soul and gave me life. I'm so brand new, and that's all that matters. I ain't love you first, but you
first love me.
Come on, in my heart, I
Cursed you. I cursed you. Free.
I gave you no reason to give me new seasons, to give me new life, new breathing. But you hung there bleeding, you died for my lies and my cheating, my lust and my
Greed.
What
There's a man
that you mind
full of them.
and what do I
Have
to deserve this love and trying to make
the moments last. Shamelessly. The past. Like an hero in a dream. Christ came and he rescued me. Everywhere I go. Thank you, God, for the win. The Ring of Magic, you know. We had a crazy game earlier. I'm gonna say download it right now. I had a crazy game where I had to play 3 reanimations. My opponent had like 50 damage of stats on the board.
unconditional. I get butterflies in my stomach. I got the old me in a rear view, got a new me, got a clear view. I'm so dead I couldn't hear you. Too deep to sin to come near you. But you drew me in, you clean me up, and take me home, beam me up. Before you do, just let me tell the truth and let these folks know that
I got Ring of Magic 4 games in a row. I'm with it.
It goes on and on, you can't measure it. Can't quench your love, they can't separate us from the love of God. There's no estimate. My face look the same, my frame and rearranged, but I'm changed. I promise ain't the same. Your love so deep, you suffered and took pain. You died on the cross to give me a new name. Ain't nothing like I seen before. I got a beam and glow. I was low down and dirty, but you clean me, Lord. You adopted me, you keep rocking me. I'ma tell the world and ain't nobody stopping me. Trying to make
The moments last. to the past. When like a hero in a dream, Christ came and he rescued me. Tell everywhere I go. Billboard, radio, you ought to know I'm getting know.
So therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he's a new creation. The old has passed away. The new has come.
New has come, yo. Tell it everywhere I go. Radio, you ought to know I'm brand new. I'm gonna try to rap some lyrics, yo. Tell it everywhere I go. Billboard, you ought to know I'm brand new.
I know one thing's true. I don't even really deserve to know you.
Okay, here we go. Tell it everywhere I go. Whoa, that's freaky. I'm a billboard, radio. You ought to know I'm brand new.
I know one thing's
True,
I don't even
you
really
know it's
deserve
good to know you, but I'm a witness that you did this, and I'm brand new.
So
I'm ready to go,
and I'ma tell the world what they
need to know. Slave to myself, but you let me go. I try again.
but it left me low.
Okay, I need to get brighter lyrics. Do. Let's go. Tell the world, tell it. I'ma tell it everywhere I go. Straight. I'm a billboard, radio. You ought to know I'm brand new.
I know one
Well,
thing's
it's
true.
true.
I don't even really deserve to
No,
know
you're
I'm a witness that you did.
this lyrics is only one line at a time. It's impossible to rap one line at a time unless you want to have a serious headache. Let me see this. All right, here we go. Billboard, I'm radio, tell the world I want to know I'm brand new. One thing's true, I don't even really know you, but I'm witness that you did this, and I'm brand new. So I'm ready to go. I'm ready to tell the world that I need to know. I'm slave to myself, but you let me know. No, you did what they could never do. You cleaned up my soul and I'm brand new. Matters. Me. You set me free. I guess. A brand new matters. I live you first. You first loved me. In my heart I cursed you, but you set me free. No reason to give me new seasons, to give me new life, new breathing. But you hung there bleeding, and you died for my life by cheating my lust, my greed. What is a man? Are you mindful lover? And what do I have to deserve this loving? Moments last, holding on to the past, but like a hero in a dream. What's a hero? Came and he rescued me. World, tell the world where I go. I'm a billboard, world tell, radio. You ought to know I'm brand new. I want to do that first verse again. It's really good. Radio, ought to know I'm brand new. Look, it's true. I don't even really deserve to know you, but I'm a witness that you did this, and I'm brand new. So I'm ready to go, and I'ma tell the world what I need to know. A slave to myself, but you let me go. I tried getting high, but it left me low. You did what they could never do. You cleaned up my soul and gave me a brand new, and it's all that matters. I love you first, but you first loved me. In my heart I cursed you, but you set me free. Breathing, I lost my greed. What is a man? You mindful of him. What do I have to deserve his loving? Moments last to the past, and like an eagle in a dream, Christ came and he rescued me. I'm a talent everywhere I go. A billboard on the radio. You wanna know? I'm brand new. Thanks God. You hold me close. First verse again. Radio. First time rapping this song, I'm proud. I'm brand new. I know one thing's true. I don't even really deserve to know you, but I'm a witness that you did this, and I'm brand new. So I'm ready to go. Now to the world they need to know. I slaved to myself, but you let me go. I tried getting high, but it left me low. You did what they could never do. You cleaned up my soul and gave me something brand new. That's all that matters. I love you first, but you first loved me. In my heart I cursed you, but you set me free. Jesus, give me new life through breathing. I should play my turn out. But man, this song is great. This song is absolutely amazing. I gave you my soul, brand new. What is a man? Trying to make the moments last. Eagle in a dream, and Christ rescue me. I'ma tell the whole world, tell it everywhere I go. Alright. Do you cleaned up my soul and gave me some brand new? That's all that matters. Whoa, there's the bass. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The first love me. Whoa, guys, I want to just sing. I just want to sing, you know what I mean? You know what I mean when you just want to sing? Yeah, that's me. You give me my soul and try to make the moments last. The passing like an eagle in a dream. Christ came and he rescued me. Billboard, everywhere I go, I'm brand new. I need to clean my soul in. This is always a dilemma because you can't really put a giant bat in your grave because you need to heal. I guess we could put a haste mage. Alright, that sounds good. I cursed you, but you set me free. I gave you no reason to give me new seasons, to give me new life, new breathing. But you hung there bleeding, and you died for my life, my shame, my lust, and my greed. What is a man? You mindful of him. What do I have to deserve his love? Trying to make this moment last. Oh shoot! I should have killed my bat so I could bring my bat back. Shoot, hold on. And like an eagle in a dream, Christ came and he rescued me. A bat. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Where I go, Alright, we accept our death. We accept our death. If we die, we're dead. Alright, I wanted to wrap this again with no interruptions. I'm sorry guys. I keep getting up.
So be free. Give me no reason to give me new seasons, to give me new life, new breathing. Look at me, they're bleeding. You die for my lies and my cheating, my lust and my greed and more. What is a man? Is you mindful of him? And what do I have to deserve this loving?
Thank you, God, for the win.
And like an eagle in a tree, Christ came and he rescued me. Tell it everywhere I go. A billboard, the radio.
I think that's a good time to take a break. I'm brand new. Thanks for watching. We're gonna just rap a little, but we're not gonna play more matches. Always welcome to hang out.
Billboard, tell the world, tell them. Radio, ought to know.
I'm brand new.
Nothing but characters keep coming. And love is so unconditional. I get butterflies in my stomach. The old me in the rear view, not the new me, got a clear view. I was so dead I could hear you. Too deep in my sin, come near you. You in, you clean me up, take me home, beam me up. Before you do, just tell the truth. Before children, I'm done with love. Infinite, it goes on and on, you can't measure it, you can't quench your love, you can't separate it from the love of God, there's no estimate. My face was the same, my frame ain't brain, but I changed my heart. I'm so deep, you suffered in your pain, you died on the cross to give me a new name. Beam before I got a beam and glow, I was holding down and dirt when you cleaned it up. You were good to me, you keep rocking me, I'm a terrible man, you wanna stop me.
Let's do that again. Verse 2.
We'll tell them I'm a real boy. The radio, tell them what you wanna know. I'm brand new. Nothing but the care guys keep coming. Hey, love is so unconditional, like a butterflies in my stomach. I got the old me in the rear view, now the new me got a clear view. I was so dead I couldn't hear you. Too deep in my sin to come near you. But you took me in, you cleaned me up, you took me home.
Okay, you just said take me home, not took me.
I was so dead I couldn't hear you. Too deep in my sin to come near you. But you drew me in, you cleaned me up. So take me home, beam me up. Before you do, just like tell the truth. This is all for me, like saying love. Infinite, infinite.
Oh, I wanna clean up this line.
Near you, but drew me in, you clean me up. So take me home, beam me up. Before you do, just tell the truth. So for me that I've seen enough. Infinite. Infinite, it goes on and on, so you can't hear it. You can't quench your love, you can't separate us from the love of God, there's no estimate. My baby looks the same, my frame in your ring, but I'm changed, my promise ain't the same. Your love so deep, you suffered into the pain. You died on the cross and gave me a new name. Seen before, I got a beam and glow. I was slow down and dirt when you cleaned me up. Oh, you died for me, you keep rocking me. I tell the world, no one's stopping me. Long last, holding on to the past, but like a hero in a tree, Christ came and he rescued me.
Yeshua HaMashiach, King of the Jews and King of the world.
Like a radio, tell me what you wanna know. I'm brand new.
So therefore, if anyone is in Christ,
Oh,
he's a new creation. The old is passed away.
oh,
The new has come. Yeah.
I tell her what I tell it everywhere I go. Tell her what I'm a billboard. Tell her the radio. Tell the world you ought to know. I'm brand new.
Wow, this song is not as hard as I thought it would be. It's cool that the rapper's name is Lecrae, Lecrae, and my name is Leckety Lecklek. So I'm Leckety Lecklek. I'm 3 times LEC.
One thing's true, I don't really deserve to know you, but I'm a witness that you did this, and I'm brand new, so I'm ready to go, and I'ma tell the world what they need to know. I slaved to myself, but you let me go. I tried getting high, but it left me low. You did what they could never do. You cleaned up my soul, and you gave me so brand new, and that's all that matters. I love you first, but you loved me. In my heart, I cursed you, but you set me free. Give me no reason to give me new seeds, give me new life, new breathing. So you're home there bleeding, you died for my lies, my cheat, my lust, my greed, and Lord. So man, you mindful of him. What do I have to deserve this loving? Cursed you, but you set me free. Give me no reason, give me new seasons, give me new life, new breathing. But you're home there bleeding, you died for my lies, my cheat, my lust, my greed. What is a man if you mindful of him? And what do I have to deserve this loving?
This is so much more fun than playing.
Cursed you, but you set me free. Give me no reason to give me new seasons, give me new life, new breathing. You're here bleeding, you died for my lies and my cheating, my lust and my greed. What is a man if you mindful of him? And what do I have to deserve this loving?
When I say the fun part isn't the rapping, the fun part is talking about God. It's like talking about your favorite person on the planet. If you're really in love with someone, you want to tell everyone about them. Like if you just got married, God, do you know who I just married? Here's her picture. Oh, she's amazing. You know what she baked me last night? Oh, it's amazing, that apple pie. Wanna know? 老婆饼.
Nothing.
It's all about God.
I can't offer you nothing. You care and kind just keeps coming. Your love is so unconditional, like a butterflies in my stomach. You owe me, the rear view, now the new me, got a clear view. I was so dead I couldn't hear you. Too deep as I said to come near you. You clean me up, so take me home. Beat me up, before you do, just tell me the truth. I tell me enough.
This is the line that I really struggle with. This is the line. Okay. We'll read it. But you drew me in, you cleaned me up. Oh, I just bit my tongue. So take me home, beat me up. Before you do, just tell me the truth. And let these folks know that I done seen you love. Probably the reason I keep getting it wrong is I don't actually know what that means. Let these folks means these people know that. That means tell them I done seen you love. That means I actually, past tense, I've seen you love. Let these folks know that I done seen you love. That's kind of hard for me to. And it's everlasting, infinite. It goes on and on. You can't measure it. That part's, it's hard to recover. So we're going to try again.
It's not. I can offer you nothing, but your caring kindness keep coming. Your love is so unconditional, like a butterflies in my stomach. I got the old me in the rear view, now the new me, got a clear view. I was so dead I couldn't hear you, too deeply in my sin to come near you. You took me in, you cleaned me up, so take me up, clean me up.
Oh, take me home.
Now the new me, got a clear view. I was so dead I couldn't hear you, too deep in my sin to come near you. So do me in, you clean me up, so take me home, beat me up. Before you do, this is the whole truth.
Just let me. Oh.
You clean me up, so take me home, beat me up. Before you do, just let me tell the truth. I let these folks know I don't see your love. Everlasting, infinite, it's going on. Can't measure it, can't quench your love. You can't separate us from the love of God. There's no estimate. My face looks the same, my front hand, your strength, my strength, my bones the same. Your love so deep, you suffered and took pain. You died on the cross and took me in whose name. Even before I got a beam and blow, I was low down and dread, but you clean me up. You adopted me, you keep rocking me. I tell the world you're stopping me.
I'm gonna tell you guys right now. To me, who is Jesus? Guys, there's no human being on my planet, in my family, I believe, in my family, or in this life, who if they were faced with the ultimate torture, let's say someone says, we're gonna cut out your eyeballs, and we're gonna put termites in there, and we're gonna put your eyeballs and feed it to you, and then before we do that, we're gonna do that to your kids. That's disgusting, right? Massive torture. I believe that any human being on who's my friend or who's my family member, if they were sufficiently threatened with a torture method, they would say,
they would betray me. They basically say, they would sign the dotted line. They'd do whatever. So if someone said, tell me where Chris is, I'm gonna do all these bad things to you, A, B, C, D, E, F, G in a row. And then I'm gonna do it to the ones you love first. I believe that it would crack and break even the strongest person that I know who loves me. It doesn't matter how much they love me. Except for God. I believe God is a person of character and principle, and he showed in the person of Jesus that it didn't matter what the hell that they were going to threaten him with, he was not going to betray me as a friend. So he is showing me that, hey, and it's two coins. I believe that if you present someone with sufficient threats or sufficient bribes, basically you say, hey, look, I'll give you $10 billion, kill your friend Chris. Or give you $10 billion, say something nasty about him so we can destroy his character, publicly assassinate him. So let's say your wife, or my wife, if I have a wife, if my wife was offered $10 billion to divorce me and say that I'm something nasty about me, say that I'm a pedophile or something like that, right? If your own wife accuses you of pedophilia and then puts you on, basically says they will want to divorce you, it doesn't matter if that was true or not, it's going to really hurt you. And I believe that there's not one woman I can marry on this planet that there isn't a price. I think that every human has a price. Like if the bribe is big enough, they'll do whatever they'll do. That means if you say, hey, I'll give you 10 private islands, dude, people have done way less for way less. I mean, people have done a lot of evil things for way less than 5 private islands. And so, I believe humans are fallible and we fall to temptation. And as friends, human beings betray the ones we love in hope of some kind of bribe or in fear of some kind of threat. And I believe that Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, would not do that. I believe he is the only person that I've ever met that would not betray me, no matter how damnable, like how nasty the torture is put in front of him, or how huge the bribe or the reward is. So someone could say, betray Chris and I will give you control of the whole world, or betray Chris and I will give you $40 trillion. And Yeshua HaMashiach would look at them in the eyes and say, never. Never. Because Chris is worth more to me than my own life. He's worth more to me than the $40 trillion. Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ, Jesus of Nazareth, is the only person I will tell you I truly believe this about. And I think this is I'm into scientific experiments. I believe that there is a scientific experiment that can be tested when it comes to Yeshua HaMashiach. The thing is, I believe that no one can actually fake being loved. All right, this is something you could test. Look at your Instagram account, look at your social media, look at your friends list, and look at somebody that you wished that loved you. Your favorite singer, the sexiest lady, or your high school crush, anybody. And in your mind, pretend they love you. Imagine, will it that they love you. Sit there and use all your meditation powers and try to force in your mind, create a fictitious narrative and delude yourself into thinking that person loves you. Try it. It doesn't work because you cannot fake being loved. And that's how we know that Jesus, Yeshua HaMashiach, is real. Because I cannot fake anyone loving me. I can't pretend this person loves me. I can't pretend A, B, C, D. I can't pretend you love me. I can't pretend I love me. I can't even pretend my mom loves me. I can't pretend my friends love me. I can't will it. I can't will it. I can't actually will it. Even with $50 billion, I can't even will someone to love me. That's the thing. Love is not something that can be bought. It's not something that can be fabricated. It's not something that can be tricked. In fact, the moment you spend $50 billion to be loved, you know in the back of your head that, man, if it wasn't for the goodies, they're gone. And then it goes back to that great test. You say you're loved. Will that person that you just bought with $50 billion, will they love you when they're threatened with eye gouging? Will they love you when they're being offered $60 trillion? So you offer them 50 billion, so they're offered 60 trillion. Oh, they loved you when you had a 6-pack, but now they're looking at a man model that has an 8-pack. Never do. And so for Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus of Nazareth, he's the only one that I can tell you about those two things that actually loves me on the worst, most extreme cases of both sides of the spectrum. At the same time, I'm not fabricating that he loved me. I feel his love every day. Not every moment, because sometimes I'm focused on my own greed. Sometimes I'm focused on different things, but I have access. If I ever do not feel the love of Yeshua HaMashiach, all I need to do is talk to him, and I'll feel the love of God. And another way that I know that it's real is that love is in rare supply. Love is something that is very difficult to manufacture. In fact, many people are loveless. Like their hearts do not have, they've become cold, empty, dark, cracked, like dry. I've been there. And maybe they're callous. You know, I have a friend, one of my friends told me she doesn't know what love is, and she doesn't know, like she doesn't know how to express it. Like she's one of those people. I love her very much, but she told me herself she feels broken. Yeah, human beings are broken all the time. And love is not something that is common, it's rare. And since it's rare, even in families, even in between wedded marriages, it's not something that is easily given away. That means most people have a finite amount of love to give people. And they're very jealous and selfish about the love they can give because they know they don't have much of it. So that means like when people walk past people who are suffering, many people callous themselves up and say, look, I can't emotionally process this because I barely have enough love in myself for the people I'm supposed to love. And that's okay. Like that's pretty much human. And the thing about Jesus is his love is so real that when he loves us, he pours love into us. And what was rare becomes common. And so what I barely had enough for, I now have an abundance. And then now I have this rare resource and I can share it with other people. So in the past, without Jesus, I didn't have love enough. I was a scarce resource. I didn't have the love. I was a cracked person. I didn't have love to give other people. But now after Jesus, every time I hang out with Jesus, it's going to the well of life and I'm a cup and I'm drawing more water from the well of life, the living water. And that's the love that can then be, I'm drinking it and I'm enjoying it. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, the love of God makes it amazing. And then I have it to share with other people. And then the love of God can be poured into other people's lives and we can see transformation in their life and our life. And Jesus completely changed my worldview, completely changed it to basically say, hey, what is life about? I honestly believe right now that the best way for a human being to live their life, and for me specifically to live my life, is to be a blessing. When I say be a blessing, I want to be a tangible agent of positive transformation, of growth in people's lives that is both immediate term benefit, short term benefit, long term benefit, permanent benefit, and eternal benefit. I believe humans have the ability to live beyond themselves. People may not believe in an afterlife, but the truth is, after you die, life goes on planet Earth. And if you have lived your life correctly, a part of you is still living. Because if you lived for yourself the moment you die, you failed. Because if you live for yourself and you die, your meaning dies with you. But if you live for something greater, say you lived for a family, or you lived for, perhaps you lived to help progress the sciences and lead us closer to the development of vaccines. Well, even though you die, but if your life work was still contributed and is forming part of the bedrock, and other people can work on it, your work survives you, and you've actually extended your life beyond yourself. And I find that human beings truly have many options to live their life. We can live our lives self-centered when we focus our life around ourselves. We can live our lives centered around other people, like a king or a friend or a wife. But if you do either of those, you will live unfulfilled. Because if you're self-centered, you die with everything dies when you die, and you can't decide when or where that happens, or how that happens. So there's always that risk. And when you're living for other people let you down. When you live for other people, most people aren't really good people. And the moment we start giving power over to people and surrendering to them, a lot of the times they become corrupt, and actually they were good people and then they become bad people. So that holds true for pastors. There are people who are pastors and people that, that guy's like a holy guy. Let me live my life in service of this holy man. That guy's smart, so let me live my life in service of this person. Or the scientific community is intelligent, so let me live my life for this. So living your life for the scientific community is living your life for other people. Which in itself, maybe it's better than living for yourself, maybe. But the key is, if we tie our happiness to fallible and foolish people, we're going to get our hearts broken and we're going to be let down. Because going back to that paradigm, every human being would betray you. Every human being would betray you for the sufficiently high bribe or sufficiently low reward. If the punishment is great enough, they'll betray you. If the reward is great enough, they'll betray you. And so ultimately, when we live for other people, we're living for someone who does not have enough love to love us to the maximum in the worst case scenarios. God, on the other hand, is the only person who's an other that we can choose to love. We can live self-centered, we can live other-centered, and we can live God-centered. A God-centered life is when we decide, my life is not about me, but it is about God. And that might sound really stupid, but think about this. In a movie, I like to study movie filmmaking. In a movie making, you have actors, you have a director, and you have the audience. Okay, who does the actor actually want to impress? Ask yourself that. When the actor shows up for work and they're filming their movie, what is their mindset? Actors are usually thinking about the audience, but ultimately they need to make the director happy, right? But who's the director thinking about? Well, the director's thinking about the audience too. Now there's a funny relationship there, because in movies, the director is the first member of the audience. The director is the first person who has a vision of what the movie's supposed to be. He has a script to follow, and he has to, movies like Lord of the Rings are filmed completely out of order. They're filming different parts in different order. So most people who are actors are kind of confused, because actors don't exactly know what they're going to film next week. They get their call orders later. They're told we're going to film this. Sometimes we're going to film this today. We're going to film this tomorrow. And sometimes they film the end of the movie in the beginning, and then sometimes they film the beginning of the movie at the end. And sometimes they don't know what's the beginning or the end, so they're just filming scenes, scene by scene. And it's the director who's seeing in his mind's eye how they all come together, and he's the one who later on goes to the editing cutting room with the editors, and he painstakingly goes through his 9 hours to 90 hours of footage, trying to cut it down to 3 hours of the right stuff. You have multiple takes. You have the same scene 10 times. You have the same smile, 20 angles, trying to get it to the best look in terms of cinematography. But the director is always thinking about the audience, and he's just the first member of the audience. So this tells you that actors, when they perform, they're living audience focused. They're living director centered. And we human beings are like actors on a stage. The world around us, thanks to chemistry and physics, is a beautiful stage. It's more than $1 trillion movie set. We're living on more than $1 trillion movie set, okay? And we are just actors coming in. And I like to believe that we're like scuba divers that are borrowing our suits. So we go scuba diving for a weekend. So we're human souls. We borrow human bodies for a weekend, for our lifespan. We borrow it, and then we're out of here. We're dead, we're gone. So we're like orcs that act in Lord of the Rings. We're like extras. We just film our part, and then we're done. When we're dead, we join the audience. And that's what happens to all actors and actresses. They always join the audience. Which actor or actress was in a movie and then didn't watch their own movie? That's kind of like a huge bummer, right? Most people who act in a movie as actors later on join the audience later. they become part of the premiere. And that's actually a big surprise to me when I learned of this, is many times the first time the actors or actress have ever seen a movie is the same time the audience sees the movie. They didn't see it at the same time as the director. Hi, I just played the Gauntlet. Hello, Germanus. Hello, Germanus. We just played the Gauntlet. We got 4-0. It was pretty cool. We're going to put that on YouTube. We're just talking about God. And the thing is, like Lord of the Rings, when Sean Bean, Boromir, like this is how they do it. You know Sean Bean like dies, right? You know like different, like Boromir dies. You have actors who come in, like I'll give you an example. In The Hobbit, Unexpected Journey, Andy Serkis playing Gollum, he filmed his entire part in the movie is the very first scene. So if you know Riddles in the Dark in The Hobbit, it's when Gollum is doing riddle game with Bilbo. So that's the very first thing they shot. And so Andy Serkis filmed that with his Hobbit actor, and they only have two people in that scene, and that's why they focused on doing that scene first. So they shot that before any of the rest of the movie. And once Andy was done with it, after he finished his part, they over the course of like one to 2 weeks, he then changed jobs and became a second unit director. So Andy Serkis helped direct. Gollum helped direct Lord of the Rings, and this gives you an idea that, hey, Andy Serkis, the first time he actually watched the movie isn't even the same time that Peter Jackson did. But and let's say the actor as the Hobbit, the first time he watches the movie is in the theater at the premiere. So he's invited to the premiere, and he has no idea how the movie is structured fully. He doesn't know which scenes made the cut. He wasn't there in the editing. Like, actors don't get involved in the editing process. They just do their part, they just perform, and then they go away. And then they're also looking at the movie theater nervous, going like, I hope that this is a good movie, because they don't know. And a lot of actors in big budget films, they only get invited to play, like, they fly in. Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit were filmed in New Zealand. So Smaug, the dragon, for example, was acted by one of the guys in Sherlock. It's a TV series. And he was flown. I mean, Smaug is not in like the majority of the movie, so why would you want to fly him in when they're filming the other part of the 90% of the movie? You don't want to waste money. He's expensive. He has a lot of contracts with other people. So what they do is they had casting. He earned his spot, and then when they needed him, they had it scheduled that he flies over specifically for like 1 week. Literally, this guy like literally did his part, his voice acting for like 1 week. Did it, done, flew out of there, went back to England, and he didn't see how the movie was going to come back. So the first time he sees it is the movie premiere. I use this analogy to help us understand why living a God-centered life even makes sense. If actors are performing with an audience-centered mindset, with a movie director mindset, they're not there for themselves. Like, the actors who are there for themselves, they're not going to reach their highest potential because they're not thinking of the big picture. We are living in a movie, guys, and we are going to watch it. I think that's something that people don't seem to realize. Every human being is going to be able to watch the history of the universe from beginning to the end. Our physicists know that there's a beginning and there's an end. And I implore people who are seriously, there are a lot of people who think that the universe we live in cannot be designed because there's randomness. That's bullshit, because if you actually play Elder Scrolls Legends, you know this game has randomness, but it was designed. It was designed with randomness in the game. Every time you're playing the game and there's like a random card at the top, it's randomly generated. Every time you open card packs, it's randomly generated. It's not that hard for someone to design randomness in a system. Planet Earth, the universe we live in, that is known to be at least, or believed to be at least 13.8 billion light years across, at least. It does have random phenomena that happens in this universe all the time. That does not exclude the possibility of intelligent design, because intelligent design can build in and bake in randomness in the system. And I've been looking very, very carefully at biology, chemistry, and physics, the most challenging questions with regarding to how the universe is formed and what are things even made of: matter, molecules, atoms, elements. Dude, I have so much good stuff I would like to talk about sometime. But the key is the laws of physics, the four fundamental forces in physics: gravity, electromagnetic force, strong nuclear forces, and weak nuclear forces. All four of these were in existence at time equals 0.1. All the elements that we know of in the periodic table that the universe is comprised of, these things were in existence t equals 1. So you can basically 0.1. You can basically say to yourself, yeah, this universe had random generation. I agree with that 100%. But if you look at time equals 0.1, 0.1 seconds into the history of the universe, all this stuff was already built. It was built already. Like gravity, how gravity works was already built. That should tell you something. It was in existence before 0. Time equals 0. Like, just like think about game design. When you look at game design, before a video game launches, designers put in a lot of effort to get the systems in place and build stuff. When you're looking at the chemical and physical laws that permeate our universe, they're freaking crazy, man. They're crazy. If you actually look at how our solar system came into existence, good. If you believe that randomness is what generated our planet Earth, this is what I'll tell you. In order for our solar system to exist, a black hole had to explode. And then a neutron star had to explode. And then it had to recombine itself. 2 explosions of massive stars, or let me put it this way, a black hole exploded. 2 neutron stars later exploded, and then 2 neutron stars attracted each other with magnetic gravity, and they crashed into each other, and then they exploded, and then they recombined into our solar system. Dude, there is an absolute monstrous amount of things that had to go right for me to even talk to you right now. It's crazy. And I believe in the randomness, okay? I'm just going to say that the randomness is so epic for us, our existence even come to being, that if the randomness did it, we should call that God. Like, if you don't believe in God, the randomness deserves to be called a God for being able to even assemble us. It's crazy. I really, people who want to know more about our universe, I think that is so exciting. There's just so many things there. There's so many things there. It's so hard to not think and wonder. And I think it always comes back to this one question. I'm telling you, I believe God is hiding. God is hiding. God is not easy to see. The reason why you can't see God is because nothing in this life is easy to see. If you think that gravity is easy to define, try to define gravity and then go look at gravity, how it really works, and then you bet, crap, I was completely wrong. Gravity is a simple, fundamental force of the universe. It's simple compared to God. If we cannot even deduce with our brains and with our own eyeballs the nature of gravity correctly, I believe we should take a few steps back and be humble when it comes to something more complex. God is more complex than gravity. You know how I know this? Gravity is part of the universe, right? So gravity is part of the universe. So gravity is more simple than the universe. So I say universe is more complex than gravity because gravity is a part of the universe. So of course, it's gravity plus everything else. It's not gravity. And then God is actually more complex than the universe. How? Because God exists outside of the universe and created the universe. So God is actually a force that is larger than the universe. And so since God is more complicated than the universe, he's also going to be, by virtue, more complicated than gravity. And so most of our human beings cannot even fathom how gravity works. And many of us are lazy and we philosophize about God for like 2 seconds, or like 10 minutes. Or we go through like 10 lines of thinking. We say, my life sucks. Where's God? This is a bad thing. Where's God? Okay, if God's real, this wouldn't happen. We really simplify it and project our own emotions into the problem. And we conclude quickly, God's not real, off the basis that he does not behave how we want him to behave. Now, God would not be God if he behaved the way we wanted him to behave. I just tell you, if I am telling God how he should behave, shouldn't I be God? Right? Like, And so when we try to investigate who God is, there's this component of we should understand, we barely understand gravity. And anything we imagine about God, we barely understand God, because God is more complicated than gravity. It took many years, and it took team collaboration to understand gravity even as much as Newtonian and Einstein special relativity. It took a lot of time to understand the curvature of space-time. It took teamwork. And when I look at God, I believe that to understand God also requires teamwork. All the complex interactions in this universe, biology, physics, computer science, they're not a one-man show, guys. None of them is like a one-man figure it all out. You stand on the shoulder of giants, and you build and you collaborate and you work as a team, because we're all finite, we're all fallible, we have sensors, we only see a part of the world, and we share that part of the world, and we can build things into amazing stuff. And so when it comes to God, it takes collaboration. And when any of us think to ourselves, I've thought about God, I asked myself these stuff, and I've concluded God's not real, we have made a huge mistake in believing that we ourselves were capable of even properly understanding God as a single person without collaboration and without teamwork. Because you could not understand chemistry without chemists. You could not understand physics without people who have gone before. You would not understand, you cannot even understand language without someone telling you, teaching it to you. You can't learn a language without that language having existence. You need time, you need effort. And so if it takes time and effort to learn French, it's going to take time and effort to learn the language of the universe. And God speaks in the language of the universe. I hope I've said things that were meaningful, that didn't hurt, like offend people. I'm not trying to offend people, but I'm actually, I desire that people can see the world around them more accurately, more true. And I believe that in order to do that, we need to tolerate people of different opinions. So I need to tolerate people who hate God. And I need to tolerate people who don't believe in God. I need to tolerate people. I need to be not just tolerant, I need to be, supportive. I need to be supportive of atheists. I need to be supportive of people who do not share my beliefs. And so for us to truly discover truth in this life, we need to create an environment where people of different perspectives can share what they believe to be true. And so we have more data, and then we can decide as a group collectively what actually better describes and better predicts how the universe works. I believe that's the case. I use French because I really love. I've been playing Elder Scrolls Legends for a while, and French. When I play the game in French, I get really happy feelings when I'm like, oh, mage de hist. It's like learning a language while doing something you like you're playing. Makes yourself feel a little bit more productive. And I'm going to take a break, but I want to pray for you guys. And I want to pray to bless you guys. And I want you guys to know that I'm not perfect. I am not better than you. In fact, if my knowledge was to go 10 times more, that's still a drop in the bucket. If my knowledge was to go 1,000,000 times more, still a drop in the bucket. So if I am more knowledgeable, good. I want to be more knowledgeable. But humans are finite. And I see how large the universe is. There are 100 billion trillion stars in the observable galaxy. And I can't even describe what happens on my home planet accurately in detail. Like, imagine knowing everything that happened on planet Earth. Great. If you knew everything that happened on planet Earth, you'd still not be God, because there are 100 billion trillion stars out there that you have no idea what's happening on them, right? That should be like telling us who God is for a second. Because in theory, God would know everything that's happening on this planet and the 100 billion trillion stars. That is so much data that it would crash all our computers to actually put in all that data. Even if you reduced it into the reducible format. I'm just saying, like, mapping all the data. That means every air molecule's position, velocity, its vector, its direction, its magnitude, its angle. Like, mapping that for every molecule is madness. And I'm not talking about just the surface of the stars. I'm talking about every single layer of the star. I'm talking about the crust, the mantle, the core. I'm talking about its atmosphere. I'm talking about God actually knows the exact composition, chemical composition breakdown of every single star. He knows the difference. He could look at 100 stars and tell you what's unique about this one. And I could look at the stars and say they look the same to me. They look hot. And so when it comes to God, at least the more I approach God, I'll tell you that I'm made fully aware that if I knew everything on planet Earth, I am still not understanding 1% of the universe. Because one Earth is not even equal to 1% of our universe. There's 100 billion trillion stars. It's not even like 0.001%. So if you knew everything that happened on Earth but nothing else, you would not actually know very much about the universe. That's should be very humbling for us. And I think this isn't to say knowledge is bad or knowledge is not acquirable. Knowledge is acquirable. And as a collective, as a race and as a species, we can actually learn more about the universe generation over generation than as an individual. So our job isn't, we're like worker bees. We're not trying to know everything. We're trying to know a little bit more and grow what the collective knows. At least that's what my thoughts and my theory on it. And I believe our generation can be a generation that does it right, that teamwork. So you just look, it's not natural. For the human race to reach its highest potential, it's not natural. It has to overcome inertia. For thousands of years, for millennia, the human species stagnated and did not see any growth. We're in the lucky 100 years that has seen the most amount of growth in the last 5,000 years, if not, it depends on how far you want to go back, but at least 5,000 to 10 million years, depending on whose timeline you want to use. But I believe that the human heart, if it focuses on God, the true and living God, it will experience actually a lot of tangible transformation, including humility. Because when we focus on something so great, it can actually make us more curious. It can actually make us more aware of our limitations, more patient. Because God is patient. God created the universe. He didn't do it in the easiest way. He did it in the most complicated way that I could imagine. I mean, it's more complicated in the way that I could imagine. And so, God is patient. And if we lack patience, if we ask God, hey God, I want to hang out with you. Hang out with patient people, you become more patient. You don't know how to appreciate art. Well, God does know how to appreciate art. So if you approach God and you hang out with God, you'll be able to appreciate art more. You don't know how to use language effectively. Well, God knows how to use language effectively. So if you hang out with God more, we'll be able to use language even more effectively. We lack confidence. God has confidence. Hang out with confident people, you'll become more confident. You don't understand finance, you don't understand business, you don't understand the complexities of the universe, you're intimidated by numbers, you're intimidated by spreadsheets, you're intimidated by data, you're overwhelmed when you see rows and columns. Have no fear, God is here. You can approach God and you can say, God, and this is the thing, if you really want to experience God, you can actually do it right now. You can say, God, I'm afraid of spreadsheets. I'm afraid of numbers. I know I'm afraid. And I know, God, right now, that if you will it, if you come in, if you step in and you transform me right now, we can do this together, and I will never fear that which I was afraid of. To truly experience God at a personal level, we must know what is impossible for us, what is unnatural for us. We must know ourselves to some degree, and we must confess it and say, God, look at this. I know this is who I am, and I can't get past this wall. I'm stuck on level 4. When we give that to God, it creates the opportunity for us to know that God's hand was there. So that means you woke up one morning, you're scared of doing abdominal workouts. You didn't do any abdominal workouts. You didn't do P90X. You didn't do sit-ups. You don't do that kind of stuff for like 10 years. You got fat. And you can't find the motivation within you. You can say, God, this is my impossible. Every time I want to exercise, I want to eat more French fries. Lord, take it away. I couldn't do it by myself because I'm too weak. The bacteria in my stomach that are helping me digest food, they like fatty food so much, and I'm unable to overcome the obesity, and I'm hurting people around me. I'm weakening my sexual attractiveness. I am losing confidence approaching people I want to approach. I'm losing out on interactions that I believe would have been positive, and because of my low self-esteem, I'm not reaching my highest potential. I'm not negotiating for a higher salary. I'm not challenging myself. I feel defeated. I feel out of control. I'm running back to my old addictions. Lord, I can't. I'm overwhelmed by this. It's in those moments. It's in those moments where God will make himself clear, because we have humbled ourselves and we've put ourselves in the correct frame of mind to see the difference, to see the game changer. Because God is a game changer. God is a decision maker. God is a champion. And when we put it in those terms, we can always add at the end, God, but I want you to have your way and not me. But God, seeing us, wants to see us achieve our fullest potential. He doesn't just want to see us rich on this life. He wants to see us rich in both lives. He wants to see us live a rich life, not just financially, but in terms of love, in terms of generosity, in terms of good deeds, in terms of friendship, in terms of wisdom. What is better, to be rich in financial things or to be rich in happiness? God wants us to be rich in happiness. He has a different ranking system than us humans. We human beings have a tendency to put a lot of things inferior to wealth. Like, how about rich in a clear conscience, or rich in a good heart? How many of us have sold a good heart for some convenience, some pleasure, right? God's not anti-pleasure. God just wants us to put things in the correct order. Pleasure is good, but is pleasure really better than wisdom? Pleasure is good, but is pleasure really better than having a clear conscience? The moment we've sacrificed a clear conscience for pleasure, we have told God, we don't like your way of doing things, and I want to do things my way, basically. And when we choose to do things our way, not God's way, God will let us do it. He gave us free will. He gave us choice. But when we ask for God to help us, to guide us, ultimately, every time we choose our own way over God's way is for us to achieve our highest potential. Think about it. God smiles. He's our Father, Abba Father. He smiles when we achieve our highest potential. So when we do things that run counter to achieving our highest potential, that's not something that he's very particularly happy about. So every time we go, he knows what path is in the direction of our highest potential. So every time we say, nah, God, we don't need you. We want to do this way, not your way. We're saying we're wiser than you, God. We're saying that you don't love me. We're saying to God, you don't know me as well as I know me. And God, your love for me isn't real. You've got ulterior motives, God. The reason why you want me to do that, the reason why you want me to say this, the reason why you want me to go here or meet this person, A, you don't have sufficient wisdom to know what's in my best interest, what's in my highest development, highest potential. B, you don't care about the things I care about. And that's the truth. God actually doesn't care about a lot of the things we care about. Because we care about a lot of things that run counter to our highest potential. For example, does getting a blowjob from a prostitute actually help a person achieve their highest potential? Yet how many people are on this planet thinking about exactly that? A lot. But why is there a sex industry? Why is there a sex industry, right? Does that really help people achieve their highest? Nah, not really. And so we continually choose things that we know are not in line with our highest potential. And that's where faith comes in. Faith isn't just some random I believe in God. Yeshua made it clear in the Bible. Just believing in God isn't that meaningful. But hence the people who killed Jesus believed in God too. The people who keep the high priest of the Sanhedrin. He believed in God. Yeah, so what? And so faith is to say, God, I look at the universe and I do not believe it's self-generated. God, I believe that this life is full of challenges and difficulty, but I believe you love me. And I believe you're speaking to me now. And you have a heart to take me to my highest potential. But I know I'm a human being and I'm always running in the opposite direction of my highest potential. I know. And so God, I have faith that if I ask you and invite you to come in, you will come and you will help me because you are strong. You created worlds. You have the power to create worlds. Of course you can lead me to my highest potential. So God, I know that you respect my free will. I have faith that you created human beings. One of the reasons why there's so much evil in the world is because humans choose evil. Rape is a man-made thing, right? Torture is a man-made thing. Donkeys do not torture humans. Okay? And so the human beings have true free will. And the fact that evil exists on earth is an indicator humans actually have free will. So I have faith, God, when I see evil. God, you've given me the power of choices and you respect me. And you will not come into my life unless I invite you. Because you respect agency. And so God, I invite you to come into my life and to make the changes you need. Because I know my life needs changes. I know that I'm not living to my fullest potential. And I don't like it. I don't want to live this way anymore. God, I want to live to my highest potential. I know you know what it is. I don't even know what my highest potential is. I don't even know what skills I have. I have so many fears. I have so many doubts. I have so many enemies. I've got so many inner demons telling me what to do. I'm living for other things and I feel like a slave to the system. God, set me free. Set me free from myself. Take me away from my own guilt, my own shame, my own fear, my own lust, my own greed. I know, God, if you take that away, I will be in the best position in my life to reach my highest potential. And I know I have faith, God, that you're my Father. You created me, perhaps indirectly, but you created me nonetheless. And the reason you created me wasn't so I could live a pathetic life. You created me not so that I could be someone's slave. You didn't create me so that I could be afraid, scared, and sorrowful. You created me, sure, you created challenges all around me in this world, but you created me so I can become awesome by conquering these challenges. Sure, I might have been bad at public speaking. Sure, I might not have been the most popular kid. Sure, I might be ugly. Sure, I may not be socially acceptable. I may not be well positioned. Maybe I'm being made fun of by people. But Almighty God, I know that you put the challenges of my life not because you hate me, but because you love me. The same reason why the game designers of Elder Scrolls Legends, they put very difficult puzzles. And my favorite puzzle, I like to use this analogy. Looking at the puzzles in Elder Scrolls Legends, I played all of them. And I keep playing the hardest one. I don't care about the ones that are easy. I don't replay the easy ones. If the puzzle is so easy, I don't even care. It's just like so easy. It didn't mean anything. It's not even that pleasurable. It's the hardest ones that took me hours, made me really dig deep, that really made me think. Those are the ones I play over and over again. And those are the ones that make me say, God, I feel like a champion. Every time I'm like, woo! It's like you want to do your victory dance. You don't do your victory dance when you do something easy. You do your victory dance when you do something hard. And God surrounded us with hard. Not because he wants us to be beaten up. He surrounded us with difficulties that we can overcome. And so we can start doing victory dances. We overcome this, we do victory dance. We overdo this, we do victory dance. We do that, we do victory dance. And God made a way for us to conquer every single thing that is challenging in our life. But the key is we need him to do it. We can't do it solo. We can conquer some of the things in our life, but without God's mercy and God's presence, we cannot overcome our inner demons. We cannot overcome lust, anger, hatred, fear, shame, guilt. We cannot overcome. No amount of what money can take away your greed. Like if you have greed and then you gave a person more money, they're still going to be greedy. I want to say like 2 more things about, I think God made human beings and hid himself on purpose and visited planet Earth as a beggar. You know, you hear the stories and the myths, like Zeus or a god become a deity, becoming a old lady or a crone or a beggar. He became a beggar. And the whole point of God becoming a beggar is to test people, to see who wants to be his real friend. So if you're a wealthy man and you're generous to your friends, but then a beggar comes to your way and says, please, sir, may I have a coin? And then you make fun of them. And that was God hiding as, do you think that's going to end well? Probably not. Well, Jesus was a beggar. He asked people, please, can I use your boat? Please, can I use your room for Passover? The Last Supper was eaten in a room for free. They had access to a very large dinner table on peak hours for free. Someone wealthy allowed Jesus and his friends to eat at their house, and he asked. And so Jesus borrowed a tomb. Jesus borrowed a donkey. So Jesus would, you could say, beg. He'd say, hey, can I borrow this? And he was very poor. He wasn't rich. And so some of us use that and say, well, that can't be God then, right? But if you think about it, if you were Almighty God and you were super rich and you wanted to test human beings and see who wanted to be your real friend, would you make it easy to be your friend, or would you make it hard to be your friend? Yeah. And so Jesus is the prince and the pauper. The prince was the wealthy rich man who, he was inheriting the kingdom, and there were so many people. He had so many people around him, and people loved him, but he didn't know who really loved him and who loved his wealth, because ladies were all every girl was flirting with him because he's the prince, right? And every guy was treating him with respect. No one would disrespect the prince because he's next in line. He has the authority and the power to promote, and he has the wealth to give people, to give them promotions and give them renewed business. So everyone's sucking up to his ass, basically, kissing his ass. So you could view God as a person that has mighty power, lots of power, and then lots of wealth. And when you have lots of power and you have lots of wealth, if people know you have a lot of power and a lot of wealth, it becomes challenging to make new friends, and it becomes challenging to have real friends, because everyone who meets you is thinking about what that you can do for them, their wealth and their power. And so in The Prince of the Pauper, the prince decided that, look, I want to find true love. I want to find real friends. And how did he do this? He basically said, look, I'm going to switch places with a beggar, and I'm going to put away my money, and I'm going to pretend to be somebody of low rank, and I'm just going to be the same person in terms of character, and we'll see who really loves me and who really respects me and who really wants to be my friend. And those people, after I befriend them for a couple of time, I will then let them know I'm a king later, and I'm going to make their lives even better. But I'm not going to make their lives better immediately, because I want to know who's my real friends, right? Who's going to really love me? Who loves me for me? That is Yeshua HaMashiach. That is Jesus, Nazareth. Jesus is the Almighty God, all-wealthy God, pretending to be a beggar, pretending to be weak in terms of wealth and power, but actually having all the character traits of God. And he has the character traits of God. He loved human beings like no other human being. There's no other human being that I know of that loved people more than Jesus. Jesus loved people so hard I could feel it today. 2,000 years after he's dead, man. I can't say that about my own ancestors. My own ancestors didn't love me that much. I hope I gave some food for thought. I hope I was able to speak accurately. And look, I may have said things that aren't true, but I would love you guys to consider it, and I'm open to modify my own worldview. I want to seek what's true. And I believe if we seek what's true, we'll find God. The surprising thing is if we look for God, we end up finding, perhaps, I believe, for me, I have found that God isn't just this distant person who created the galaxies. He's a person who created the galaxies, but he's also a person who wanted to interact with his creation. I use a game designer analogy. I've never seen a game designer, a lead game designer of any game ever make... I've met lead game designers of games. There is not a single lead game designer on a game who's never played their own game. Like, if you look at the World of Warcraft by Blizzard Entertainment, the lead game designer could actually play the game and make himself level 100 on command. But the reality is, if they want to be a good game designer, they would actually create themselves at level 1, and so put themselves in the new player experience so they can see it from the vantage point of a new player. And so it makes sense for a lead game designer who's on World of Warcraft to actually create an account and go level 1 with none of the fancy items, just to experience and understand what their game is like. And that way they can make modifications and improvements and in future patches. So if God is the lead game designer of our universe, just using argument by analogy, there's a 0% rate of lead game designers in games, or 100% rate of lead game designers who've played their own games. So if God created his own universe and he didn't even play his own game, that would actually make him a super outlier. So it's actually consistent with game design principles that the lead game designer will play their own game. And so if playing your own game means becoming a human being, then it makes sense to God become a human being. And people who are who believe in God but do not believe Jesus is God, I have this to say. That couple things. No person has shown the love of God more than Jesus. Jesus pointed more people to God than I believe any other person. There was another thing I forgot what it was. But when we look at the Jesus as a game designer or as a friend of human beings, I think he actually did a really good job of making friends. He's been dead for 2,000 years, and he's still making new friends, and he's the most famous human being who's ever lived, and he's a blue-collar worker. Jesus is amazing. I think people who are in the habit of cursing using Jesus Christ or making fun of Jesus, I would encourage them to look at the most amazing person in their life, the coolest person in history they think. Tell me who that person is, and tell me about that person, and then we can make some direct comparisons, either by yourself or together with me, of Jesus and that person. And then you'll start to see some really weird things, and then you'll be like, wait a minute, why am I a follower? Like everyone who's been cursing Jesus Christ as a name, unfortunately the truth is they're just following a trend. They're just following people. They're saying something that's disrespectful to other people. And a lot of people who mean to be inclusive of diversity and respectful to other people, and who are respectful to other people, every time they're using the name Jesus Christ, they need to realize that's a hypocrisy. Not being considerate of Jesus Christ and not being considerate of people who love him. And so I would encourage people to say, if you want to be a person of enlightenment, we should not make fun of one of history's greatest luminaries. Jesus is one of the greatest luminaries that ever lived. In fact, he's the most famous human being, and he has a lot of friends right now. Anyway, I'm going to pray. I meant to pray earlier, but I got excited. God, thank you for these people. I pray that you bless them, that you go into their heart and you can do heart surgery. Take out everything that take away their fears that they shouldn't be afraid of. Put in them the fear of the things they should be afraid of. Maybe today they're afraid of public speaking, but they're not afraid of wasting their life. Then give them the fear of wasting their life and take away the fear of public speaking. So every single time they do public speaking, they know they don't have many times left. They might as well kill it while they're at it. God, help us become high impact people, game changers, transformers, people who transform the universe around us, people who optimize our solutions, people who make the universe reach its highest potential. God, help us be collaborators, help us be team players, peacemakers. Help us make friends cross-culturally and help us get along with people that we don't understand and who don't understand us. Help us understand people that we don't understand, and help people who don't understand us understand us. Help us have patience to understand that, hey, people might look like us, they might even be Chinese American like I am, yet they may think completely differently than me. They might have completely different philosophies and different ways of looking at the same evidence, same data. Maybe they use different words, maybe they use different vocabulary, maybe they use the same word love and they mean something completely different. They use different definitions. Help us harmonize, help us bring together different groups of people all over the world globally into companies, into families, into communities, to neighborhoods. We're really one big neighborhood, planet Earth. We're one big family, human family. I pray, God, that you take away the lies in our heart. We've installed a lot of lies, and they're like viruses, computer viruses. Just start taking them out. Start taking them out. Remove the envy, remove the hatred and the jealousy. Take out the nasty stuff so we can put more good stuff in. Some of us are struggling with memory, God. Renew our memory. Bless us with renewed memory. Strengthen our memory. Allow our neurons in our brains to be cleaned up. Remove the memories we don't want and help us retain the information we find valuable and meaningful. God, help us find you in this life. Help us befriend you. I know you're there. I know you're in my friends' rooms. Help us have the capacity to do what's good, the capacity to do what's lovely, and help us enjoy our days each and every day. Help us enjoy our games, both our victories and our defeats. Help us look at the challenges around us not as scary, but as opportunities to become something greater. Give us the mindset of conquerors, not the mindset of cowards. Give us a conquering mindset. Don't make us, when we see something difficult, help us innovate and create new solutions and be effective and optimal and think outside the box, but don't let us be naysayers. Don't let us be scoffers. Don't let us be doubters. Give us faith. Give us the courage to say, hey, look, the solution, we don't know what the solution is now, but we're going to engineer a solution. The scientific data there is not sufficient. Help us collect scientific data. Or maybe the historical record is confused. Help us unconfuse the historical data. Help us understand what's going around us, what's going on within us. Help us look at our families, look at our relationships as they truly are, and help us have your spirit to nurture them, to make them grow and blossom beautifully. Beautiful marriages, beautiful boyfriend-girlfriend relationships, beautiful friendships, beautiful co-worker relationships, beautiful team relationships. God, help us see things that you see in our life that we do not see. You see everything. We only see what's right in front of us, and we're basically blind. We don't even know most of us don't even know how our heart operates or what's going on in our body, and we're just confused children. So God, help us be unconfused children, and Lord, humble us and give us your wisdom. In Jesus' name, amen. You might have heard me say Yeshua HaMashiach
So it's one of my favorite recent learnings. I try to learn more about God when I can. And Yeshua HaMashiach means, Yeshua is Jesus' original name, Yeshua in Hebrew, and HaMashiach means the Messiah, the King. So to say Yeshua HaMashiach is to confess that Jesus was the King of the universe come to earth. So when I was talking that story of God coming in disguise, incognito to earth, if you want to participate in that, you can say that as a question mark. You can actually say, Yeshua HaMashiach? Like, Jesus, are you really the King of the universe? Like this guy thinks? Or you can say, if you're confident, or if you want to experience it, and you say, Yeshua HaMashiach, with an exclamation point. And you can say, Jesus, if you are the King of the universe, please have mercy on me. You can do that. You can actually do that. That's what you do to kings. When you see a king, you can say, mercy on me, please, 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 sir. May I have some more? And Jesus, Yeshua HaMashiach, if he's the King of the universe, there is nothing he cannot do for you. Bye-bye. God bless.